মাছ মাংস শাকসবজি ফলমূল সব আলাদা
Government to sell assets of controversial businessman S. Alam to refund investors, briefs Bangladesh Bank Governor. Flood situation improves as water level of all rivers flowing under danger line. Death toll of flood-affected people rises to 31. Relief distribution continues. BNP decides to donate all worth amount for flood-affected people instead of celebrating its founding anniversary. Death toll of Palestinians nears 40,500 as more than 50 others killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza. And Bangladesh clinches SAF Under-20 Football Championship title, beating Nepal by 4-1. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV and BTV World. I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the detailed stories. The Advisory Council Committee on Government Purchase gave approval to the proposal to purchase 60,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer from United Arab Emirates and Qatar. The development came at a meeting of the committee with its Chief Finance Advisor Saleh-Uddin Ahmed in the chair at the Secretariat today. Ferti Globe Distribution Limited of the United Arab Emirates will supply 30,000 tons of urea fertilizer under a state agreement, and the rest 30,000 tons will be imported through Qatar Chemical and Petrochemical Marketing and Distribution Company. In addition, the committee approved a proposal to purchase 30,000 tons of urea fertilizer from the Kardafuli Fertilizer Company Limited, CAFCO. The Ministry of Industries placed the proposals. The Advisory Council Committee also approved a proposal of the Ministry of Commerce to purchase 20,000 metric tons of lentils through the Trading Corporation of Bangladesh, TCB. Members of the committee were present at the meeting. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus urged Canada to invest in Bangladesh to help rebuild the country from an economic mess. The Chief Advisor made the call while Canadian High Commissioner to Bangladesh Lily Nichols called on him at the State Guest House Jamuna in Dhaka today. The Chief Advisor said that the government was restoring vital institutions broken by the previous regime and was bringing order and clarity in governance. Chief Advisor said important electoral reforms will be carried out before the country goes to vote because under the previous government, the Election Commission was turned into an election manipulation commission. The Chief Advisor called for easing overcrowding in the Rohingya camps by relocating some Rohingyas from the Cox's Bazar camps. He said his government would do its best to provide hope to the Rohingya young people. The Canadian High Commissioner said her government is ready to support the Chief Advisor and the interim government. She said Canada would be keen to boost food security in Bangladesh by supplying fertilizers and essential commodities. The Canadian High Commissioner said Canada has contributed more than $600 million for Rohingya humanitarian responses and called for livelihood opportunities for the Rohingya people. France is ready to support Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus and the interim government in their efforts to rebuild the country. The ambassador of France to Bangladesh, Marie Mazdupuy, made the comments when she paid a courtesy call on the Chief Advisor at the State Guest House Jamuna. The envoy said French President Emmanuel Macron has invited Chief Advisor to visit France at a convenient time. Dr. Mohammad Yunus said his government is committed to protecting the rights of every citizen. He said the interim government to stay as short as the people want or as long as they want. Matsupudi said France was already working with Bangladesh interested in extending expertise to fight corruption, human trafficking, forensic cybercrime, port and airport security and financial crime. Chief Advisor Dr. Mohammad Yunus sought Malaysia's support for Bangladesh to become a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. He sought the support when Malaysian High Commissioner to Bangladesh Hasna Mohammed Hashim paid a courtesy call on him at the state guest house Jamuna. The chief advisor said Bangladesh can be a bridge between ASEAN and SAARC. Hasna Police, Election Commission, Tax Administration and Land Registration. Dr. Muhammad Yunus made the comments when the UNDP resident representative Stephen Lilla paid a courtesy call on him at the state guest house Jamuna. The chief advisor said the interim government is committed to launch vital reforms in Bangladesh's key institutions in an effort to hold a free, fair and transparent election. UNDP resident representative Lilla offered the UN agencies full support for the wide-ranging reforms. The money of depositors and investors will be refunded by selling the assets of the controversial business group al-Alam Group. Bangladesh Bank Governor Ahsan H. Mansoor has urged people not to buy any of al-Alam's assets due to the reason. The governor made the call at a press conference at Bangladesh Bank office at Motijhil today, urging the depositors who have deposited in the banks controlled by al-Alam to have patience. The Bangladesh Bank governor said no depositors' money will be wasted. The interim government has lifted the ban on Jamaat-e-Islami and its student wing, Islami Chhatro Shibir. The Home Ministry issued a notification in this regard. The Gazette notification reads, since there is no specific evidence of involvement of Jamaat, Shibir and its front organizations in terrorist activities, and since the government believes that the organizations are not involved in terrorist activities, so the government, as per Section 18 of the Anti-Terrorism Act 2009, has cancelled the previous circular that banned Jamaat, Shibir and its front organizations, it said. The decision will come into effect immediately, the notification added. On August 1, the previous Awami League-led government banned Jamaat, Shibir and all of its associated organizations as political entities under the Anti-Terrorism Act 2009. Law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul said the ousted Awami League government did not ban Jamaat-e-Islami from any policy decision but wanted to use it as a ploy to brutally crush the student people revolution. The advisor said Jamaat was banned to resist the student people movement by terming it as a terrorist organization. The law advisor made the comments while addressing journalists during a press briefing in the Secretariat today, mentioning that Awami League did not ban Jamaat from any ethical ground. Asif Nazrul said the issue was used as a political ploy to foil the student people revolution, saying that some cases will be resolved with highest priority. The advisor added that there are many much talked cases like Sagar Rooney murder case which will be resolved soon. The overall flood situation in the country is in an improving trend. The water of all major rivers is flowing below the danger mark. According to the weather agencies, the water level of Monu, Khowai, Feni, Muhuri, Gomoti and Titash rivers may continue to recede as there is no possibility of heavy rainfall in the next 24 hours. According to the Flood Forecasting and Warning Center, the water level of the Brahmaputra, Jamuna, Podda and Shurma Kushiara rivers in the northeastern part of the country has decreased. The normal flow of the Tista, Dhorla, Dudhkumar rivers in the northern region is prevailing, which may continue for the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief, K.M. Ali Reza, said a total of 31 people have so far died in the devastating flood. Besides, 2 persons are missing in Maulvi Bazar district. He said this at a press conference at the ministry's conference room at the Secretariat this afternoon. The officials said 540,510 people took refuge at shelter centers. The ministry has made an additional allocation of 1 crore taka, raising the total cash support to the flood victims to 4 crore 52 lakh taka, he added. The flood situation has improved in Feni, Maulvi Bazar, Kumilla and some other districts, while it has worsened in Lokhipur, Chandpur and Noakhali. The flood victims in the affected areas have been given cash, rice, water, purification tablets, dry food by the district and opposite administrations. In Noakhali, houses, rural roads and educational institutions of 8 upazilas of the district have been inundated by flood water. There has been significant damage to croplands and livestock. 1,303 shelters have been opened for the flood-affected people and 150 medical teams have been formed in Noakhali. Relief supplies are being distributed throughout the district to those affected by the flooding. In Chandpur, around 50,000 people have been stranded as the flood has worsened in the district. The district administration has opened a monitoring cell to look after the flood-affected people. In Lokhipur, more than 1 lakh people have been marooned as water in all major rivers in the district increased. A total of 25,550 people have taken refuge at shelters situated in various upazilas of Lokhipur. Deputy Commissioner Suraya Jahan said 8 lakh people of all 5 upazilas of the district have been suffering from floods. Relief materials are being distributed among the flood victims, she added. In Kumilla, the flood situation has improved slightly in the district. Food is being distributed to those affected by the flood. In Maulvi Bazar, flooded people were seen returning home as water receded in the district. Many people have started repairing their damaged houses. In Feni, the flood situation has improved in Feni Sadar, Dangun Bhuiya and Shonagazi upazila. The Chief of the Army, Navy and caretaker government's advisors have visited the flood-affected areas and distributed relief to the local population. Checks of 3 crore 95 lakh 83,030 taka were received as donation from various organizations, individuals and associations to help the flood victims today. Disaster Management and Relief Advisor Farooq-e-Azam Bir Pratik received the checks of the donations on behalf of the Chief Advisor at his office of the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief. The donations include Citibank 1 crore taka, Shimanto Bank 20 lakh taka, USEP Bangladesh 10 lakh taka, Bangladesh Economic Association 1 lakh taka, NCC Bank PLC 2 crore taka, RAB Forces 58 lakh 91,503 taka, Ministry of Liberation War Affairs 2 lakh 81,500 taka, Center for Disability in Development 1,83,710 taka and MediaSoft Data System Limited 1,26,317 taka. The advisor thanked the individuals and organizations for standing beside the flood victims. In order to stand by the flooded people, the anti-discrimination student movement is collecting relief today at Dhaka University's TSC for the 7th day. People from all walks of life started thronging the TSC in the morning with relief materials and cash. Students from different educational institutions are working as volunteers. In addition, students are collecting relief by placing tables and hanging banners in front of different departments of the university. Various organizations alongside individuals donate relief materials and cash for the flood-affected people. Repressives of the anti-discrimination student movement rush to the flood-affected areas with trucks carrying relief materials regularly. Around 25 trucks carrying relief materials leave TSC every night. The BNP has decided not to celebrate its founding anniversary and it will donate all worth of the money for the flood-hit people. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said this at a press briefing at the party chairperson's political office at Gulshan in the Israeli forces pounded central and south Gaza, killing at least 40 on Tuesday, as the United Nations said Israel's expanding ground invasion has forced it to evacuate its humanitarian aid hub in the war-torn enclave for a second time. At least 40,476 people have been killed and 93,647 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. World Food Programme said about 21,50,000 people in Gaza Strip, 96% of Gaza's total population, are facing high levels of acute food insecurity. WFP also said 9 out of 10 people are spending 24 hours or more without food. Meanwhile, in the occupied West Bank, at least 2 Palestinians were killed and 2 others wounded as Israeli forces launched a major operation to counter terrorism in Jenin and Tulkarem. The United Nations said tensions in southern Lebanon have reached a critical level in the past 3 weeks, with escalating hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah, killing 564 people and displacing more than 112,000. Police in the eastern Indian city of Kolkata have fired tear gas and water cannons to disperse thousands of protesters demanding justice for the rape and murder of a trainee doctor at a state-run hospital earlier this month. The discovery of the body of the 31-year-old sparked nationwide outrage over the crisis of violence against women. The Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) in West Bengal has announced a 12-hour Bangla Bandh on Wednesday in response to alleged police brutality during the Nabanno Bhijan protest. The Bandh, scheduled from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m, was sparked by student demonstrations against the recent rape and murder of a trainee doctor of R.G. Kar Medical College and Hospital. The protests escalated on Tuesday, leading to chaotic scenes where authorities resorted to using water cannons and tear gas to control the crowd. On Tuesday, thousands marched to the government building in Kolkata, demanding the resignation of West Bengal's Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee. A hospital volunteer has arrested in connection with the crime, which has now been handed over to India's Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) after criticism of the local police's slow progress. A senior police official speaking anonymously said at least 100 protesters were arrested for creating violence. A series of protests have taken place since the killing on 9 August. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry sought financial assistance from the United States for the flood-affected people. He sought the assistance while chargé d'affaires of U.S. Embassy Helen Lafave made a courtesy call on the advisor at the Secretariat office this afternoon. They discussed various issues, including providing assistance to security and agriculture sector of Bangladesh and rehabilitation of flood-affected people. Earlier in the morning, British High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Sarah Cook, made a courtesy call on Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry at his Secretariat office. The High Commissioner said her country is keen to provide all required assistance to the interim government of Bangladesh. They also discussed various issues relating to mutual interests, including the issue of combating terrorism, illegal migration, flood rehabilitation and Rohingya repatriation. Meanwhile, Australian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Nardia Simpson, also made a courtesy call on Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry at his Secretariat office in the afternoon. The High Commissioner said Australia is interested to work closely with Bangladesh regarding various issues, including counter-terrorism, transnational crime and human trafficking. Religious Affairs Advisor Dr. A.F.M. Khalid Hussain said the government will work sincerely to transform the Islamic Foundation into a vibrant one. He made the remarks today in a view exchange meeting with the Islamic Foundation at Agargaon in the capital today. Director General of Islamic Foundation, Dr. Muhammad Bashirul Alam, presided over the seminar, while Religious Affairs Secretary Muhammad Abdul Hamid Jamaddar, among others, spoke at the function. The advisor said corruption in all projects of the Islamic Foundation, including the construction of model mosques, will be investigated. And now, weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thundershowers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at a few places over Dhaka, Mymensingh, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions, and at one or two places over Rangpur, Rajshahi, Khulna and Borishal divisions. Besides, moderately heavy falls likely to occur at places over the country. Night and day temperature may rise slightly over the country, said the Met Office. And now sports news. Bangladesh sealed the title of SAF Under-20 Championship, beating Nepal by 4-1 goals. This victory inked Bangladesh's first title in the tournament achieved on Nepal's home ground. In the final match played at Anfa Complex, Bangladesh took the lead with a goal of Mirajul Islam during injury time in the first half. Mirajul extended their advantage with the second goal in the 55th minute. The team continued their dominance, Rabbi Hussain Rahul scoring a third goal in the 70th minute. Nepal managed to score their only goal in the 80th minute, but Bangladesh responded swiftly, sealing their victory with the fourth goal in the 95th minute, while Piyash Ahmed Nova scored. Mohammad Asif of Bangladesh was adjudged the best goalkeeper of the tournament. Mirajul Islam was adjudged the top scorer for 5 goals and the best player of the tournament. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Government to buy